So are you that Frieza guy?
I am Lord Frieza, yes?
Awesome! I'ma deck you in the schnoz.
What?
Last time on DragonBall Z. Though like the villainous Power Rangers, Jace has an Australian accent. Captain Ginyu went into a frog's body. It's a Vegeta-only thing because Vegeta. We want to go to Frieza's ship. Okay, careful. Careful. And with that, Goku has reached max level. Hey guys, SaxDude26 here, and welcome back to Let's Play Dragon Ball Z, the Legacy of Goku. Oh, that was dangerous. Just because I'm level 25 now, though, doesn't mean I'm invincible. So last time we had quite the number of boss fights on our hands as we went up against Frieza's elite squad, the Ginyu Force. And, yeah, they didn't prove to be too troublesome, but they definitely weren't a pushover. So, now we've made our way over to Frieza's ship, which is great because Frieza's not actually here at the moment. Jeez, stop getting punched. But yeah, Frieza's not actually here at the moment because he was heading over to Captain Ginyu to get reports on how he handled Vegeta, Gohan, and Krillin, expecting them to take him out. What he's going to find instead is his best warriors in a steaming pile in the middle of Planet Namek. But on the upside, that means he's not here, which means we have opportunity to make a game plan and recover before he gets back. As you can see, Vegeta's already kitted Gohan and Krillin out with Saiyan armor, so they're a little better protected from battle damage, but he's urging us to get in the rejuvenation chamber deeper in the ship as soon as possible. But for the moment, I do want to take a quick tour, because you can see some more Saiyan armor here in the lockers, which is great. Unfortunately, Goku can't put any on, which means he's the odd one out at the moment. But yeah, it's nice to see that there. And also Frieza's pod here in his main viewing room. We do have the option to fly out through the broken window if you do need to grind more. So you're not permanently stuck on the ship once you fly in, but this is the point of no return. Once you walk into the room with the rejuvenation chamber, if you touch it, you will activate it, and that will send you straight into the final fight with Frieza. You want to be absolutely sure you have everything else done and you're ready to go before you walk towards it. And just like with the nurse in before the fight with Vegeta and Nappa, if you move closer to it, it does refill your health. So if you want to heal and then fly back out, you have that option. But me, I'm ready to fight Frieza now, so I think it's a good idea if we hop in, we recover, and we get ready for this final fight. So, one well-deserved rest later, we're finally ready to take on Frieza, but my golly, it's going to be a doozy of a fight. Thankfully, King Kai's got some really good news for us, and I'm going to try and simplify it as best I can. While we were resting, the gang used the Namekian Dragon Balls to wish back Piccolo, which has brought back Kami, which has brought back Earth's Dragon Balls. Mr. Popo is currently gathering them up with the intent of using Shenron to wish back everyone that Frieza killed. That literally means everyone who has died on Planet Namek, we have the potential to wish back now, which is good. And on top of that, Namek's dragon Purunga is 3 times stronger than Shenron. He grants 3 wishes instead of 1 and can bring back people who've already died, which means people like Chaozu who were killed by King Piccolo in Dragon Ball can actually be wished back. Which means without the Namekians' help, we actually didn't have a way of bringing him back. Now we do. That's a really important thing to have. Unfortunately, we've already lost someone. The second we stepped into the rejuvenation pod, Frieza showed up. And poor Vegeta's been fighting off against this guy the second we got in there, so that really puts into perspective the amount of power we're dealing with here. And as you may notice, he's in his base form. Anyone who's familiar with the series will know that's not when Goku fights him. We have to fight this guy in all 4 of his forms. It's gonna be a doozy of a fight, and being max level is not gonna change a whole lot in terms of how much he's gonna hurt. But I would definitely suggest starting that fight with a Solar Flare. It makes a world of difference. Also, I find Melee takes him down much quicker, but Energy Blast can be pretty handy. He's not going to give you too many opportunities to use the Kamehameha, but that's mostly just because of the layout of the map. He does get caught on trees and herbs very easily, so if you do need to use healing items, that can sometimes make the map a little easier to navigate. But yeah, he likes to do really weird maneuvers like that. It's like he's doing hoof turns, which no one who isn't Australian will get. But anyway, a couple of punches later, he will go into his second form, and I really have to commend at this point the sprite work specifically of Legacy of Goku 1. Second form Frieza is one of the tallest enemies you will fight in the game. And unlike a lot of later entries in the series, especially when we get to the third game, I feel like the proportions of the size are the best in this game. I will never again see a character who is tall look like they are the right relative size to the player characters. Jeez, whoops. Frieza Form 2, however, hits the nail right on the head and gets the sizing perfect. And I really wish that they kept the larger characters to this kind of style size, but they really upped the quality of the spriting, so I can kind of understand why they didn't. That's gonna turn into an invincibility friend, so let's not do that. But yeah, the fight with Frieza makes me really, really, really pleased with the quality of sprites this game gives you. Now for Form 3. One thing you're going to be noticing, he is progressively getting faster and getting a slightly higher damage input with each form. The amount of HP as well is truncating with an extra third being added each time. My goodness, Form 3, he's going to go down a lot slower than Forms 1 and 2. Don't shoot my son, you monster! Sorry, kind of had protective father syndrome there, which I'm sure some will argue is out of character if I wasn't playing as Piccolo, but more on that later. Anyway, but yeah, Frieza progressively gets faster and stronger with every form change. Oh boy, okay, let's not deal with that at the moment, please. One thing I find is really good with fighting against Frieza is because he does a lot of really weird maneuvers to work around you and objects that he walks near, is that quite often he'll put you in precarious spots when he starts charging up an energy blast. Solar Flare isn't just good for punching people, it's also good for cancelling energy attacks. If you haven't worked that out yet, using it against Frieza is a godsend. I would definitely suggest don't rely on the Kamehameha, rely on energy blasts and Solar Flare. Especially if he gets caught on herbs and stage objects, oh boy, because that's going to be the best way to get him to walk around them and stop being stuck on things. Form 3 does it a lot, especially because he's a lot faster. You're going to notice it with Form 4 as well. And if you haven't been using flight charges at all in other fights, now's going to be where they're really important, because a lot of the layout gets in the way very easily. Now, I'm not sure how far down he is, because usually I gauge it based on the number of punches I've given him, and usually I feel like Form 3 takes about 5 or 6 punches, roughly, so he must be getting pretty close by now. I really misjudged that hit. There we go. Pushed to his final form, Frieza has supercharged the core of the planet with an energy blast, intending to turn it into a giant planetary nuke. His power is intensely higher than ours, he is faster than us, stronger than us, and he is basically unstoppable. In spite of that, Krillin is giving us a massive pep talk, and Frieza's heard enough of his trap. And so Frieza blows up Krillin in front of our eyes. Goku, enraged by the situation, is pushed too far, and his rage emerges in the form of a transformation into the legendary Super Saiyan. This is a transformation built on your energy exceeding your emotional capacity. Speed is increased, and that's going to come in very handy, because before that happened, Frieza Form 4, or Final Form Frieza, was faster than us. Now that we are Super Saiyan, we are a perfect match for Frieza toe-to-toe, even at level 25. I would strongly suggest, if you have the time to grind to level 25, do it. It is going to help immensely, because everything that hits you is going to be the same strength that it was that you were hitting him with in the first 3 parts of the fight. The biggest difference now being, you're much faster. Unfortunately, that's literally about it. That's what this is going to really come down to, is being a bit faster than him and playing very smart. There is no shame in using healing items either, because, I mean, the volcanoes are erupting everywhere and your vision is very solidly obscured. It is very easy to be blindsided by energy attacks, and I have it happen to me all the time with this fight. But my goodness, they did a good job still factoring in the Super Saiyan transformation, even though, with all the alterations they made, the big crucial part of the Frieza fight that was missing was yet another use of the Spirit Bomb, on which he pulled energy from the entire planet of Namek into this gigantic spirit bomb the size of basically this entire map that was still not strong enough for him to defeat him with. And so, pushed to the limits, he is now matched perfectly with Frieza's power. Oh, in spite of the things they changed, they did a good thing of keeping it all still relative to what actually happens. Oh, that was cutting it close. I'm gonna heal. But yeah, there is no shame in using herbs. There is no shame in using Zenzu beans. If you're gonna use them at any point, this is gonna be when you're gonna need them. Because especially if you're bombarded with so many things you can't see what's happening, there's no shame in getting hit. It happens. It happens quite a lot. Frieza is the toughest enemy in the game. The only thing that other characters will do that's more frustrating is firing off energy blasts immediately. And remember, that's only 3 characters: Vegeta, Berta, and Jace. Everything else comes down to raw power and raw speed, and that's basically what Frieza has in spades. So just keep your distance, rely on Solar Flare as liberally as you can, be mindful of the fact that you're going to lose sight of things very easily. If you lose him in the lava, just fly over it a bit and then try and drag him out, and then just keep fighting. And then he goes down, beaten by a monkey! And so he sticks to his plan, blowing up the planet with him on it, with the intention of taking us with him. The Earth Dragon Balls have already been used to wish back everyone from Namek and bring them back to Earth. And likewise, the Namekian Dragon Balls have moved our party back to Earth. Bar for Goku so he could finish off Frieza. And so, with a blood-curdling scream, Goku is taken out with the explosion of Planet Namek. The evil tyrant Frieza was defeated at the hands of Goku, the legendary Super Saiyan. Back on the planet Earth, Goku's friends used the power of the newly restored Dragon Balls to wish all of Frieza's victims back to life. The Namekians, now on Earth and without a world of their own, wonder what the future will hold for their people. Cue a lovely snapshot from when Porunga is summoned on Earth after they've been there for a year, from one of the last episodes of the first arc of Dragon Ball Z. That's not where the first arc actually ends. After staying on Earth for a year, the Namekians have adjusted. They summon Porunga and use their wishes to bring back Yamcha, Tien, Chiaotzu, and Krillin. Of course, because Krillin has died before as well, because that also happened in Dragon Ball. Then they bring back Porunga once again, they wish for a new planet Namek, and the entire Namekian race, bar Piccolo, are teleported to New Namek to start life anew with their new leader, Elder Mori, who was appointed by Guru in the anime plot, which is a little different because, again, Guru was an idea in Legacy of Goku rather than an actual physical Namekian. One other thing that is in Season 1 that I haven't covered is the filler arc that ends the whole thing, but I'm going to discuss that at the start of Legacy of Goku 2 because some plot of it is actually mentioned once the game starts. And with that, we mark the end of the first season of Let's Play Dragon Ball Z, The Legacy of Goku. You're probably wondering, the fact that Porunga can bring back people who have died before. We know Goku died before, it happened with the fight with Raditz. So I'm going to be frank with you guys. Goku's not dead.